What's up, guys? It's your boy, Cyrex, back here with the Freak Show, episode 2, and we're gonna get right into it. Now, what I would like to talk about today is going out. Not going out like just to hang out. So, I guess a good place to start is going out on the weekends or just any nights that you have off can be a little bit of a complicated process in our advanced technological age where we get so much data and get so much information so quickly and so easily, so, basically effortlessly. It can feel like we just have an overflow of information and it's very easy to take that for granted. There's something that I saw on an episode of Broad City. I don't quite remember which episode, which number episode it was, but I'm pretty sure it was called #FOMO. Now, of course, for those, most people do know, but for those who don't, that would be the fear of missing out. FOMO is the fear of missing out. And that fear, of course, is of, not being there for epic events, for those, should have been there moments, be there moments. Those stories that you can tell later on. Of course, we cherish that. We put a lot of value in not only history, but of course our own personal past too. So of course you want to have a good story to tell, and that can curb a lot of people's choices of places to go. So, say you're faced with fewer options. I mean, you have a pretty fair playing field to mess with. You're not really going to be mulling over the choices for too long. But say you have a lot more choices. Say you have a few more. Say a couple are low-key, a couple are, few people, but not a big vibe, or big vibe, but not lots of people. And then there's just those pure rager kind of things, or pure all the people who you want to be around, or all the people who you're trying to be around. They're there. And so of course that will definitely curb your decision a lot. You want to go places to be around the people that you like to be with. Of course, that's not surprising, that's human nature. And so that can get even more complicated than that, to be quite honest. Because then we're thinking on a level of, we hang out together, but we may have different interests. So if we're in a group and certain things are going on at the same times, we're gonna wanna do which one we want to do. So it's a little harder to defer on that matter. And then there's also, what if it's fairly even on what people want to do? Because I'm sure there's plenty of scenarios where people have done a kind of majority rules kind of thing. I know that I've done that for sure. And there's also the kind of, hey, okay, maybe we'll go this way and you guys go that way and we'll meet up. That one's more for, I guess, maybe two or three small groups that converge into one large group of, I guess, people with common interests or whatever. And I would imagine most, if not all of us, have been in situations like this, where basically you're with several people. So how are you going to decide what everybody's going to do? Because, again, you do all want to be together. So this may be a bit jarring. This episode has taken something of a turn. So I basically got late term invited to a thing, which is why you hear, this white noise basically in the background. That's my car. So I'm just recording this basically as I drive. Don't worry, I'm being very safe. Both hands on the wheel. This is just a voice memo using the mic. So, now I believe I was talking about how people to somebody in the group to make that final decision. Like, oh, you know, we could go to this, we could go to this. Oh, well, what's this person gonna do, or what are they gonna do? Yeah, like, I mean, it's, you know, it's one of those like instincts that you develop when you're part of a group. So that just happens. Now, what's happening to me right now is basically I got late term invited to something, and so I'm trying to get there. Now, I was invited originally, but then came this whole prospect of, oh, this might not be fun, this might not be that lit. Then it turns out I see snaps saying it is lit, so I'm like, oh, I guess it, you know, I guess things went differently, right? To which, of course, that part was conceded. That it did go differently. It was pretty lit. So after some mulling over, which I need to stop doing because it wouldn't be this late. It's 2:49 a.m. and I'm basically gonna get there at 3. So, you know, had I just gone, I would have been there a while ago. So that's something that I'm working on. But, you know, we're all going to be growing together with this. I definitely have a big problem with indecisiveness. And so I'll probably waste like maybe an hour that I could be doing something, just thinking about doing it. And I mean, I definitely think that that is a bad trait. I definitely don't think that that's a claim. And I'm definitely also going to wait for this police officer who's going very fast to pass before I pass that ramp. Because I don't like that you're going so fast and got so many flashing lights. That shit is serious. See, and now you're following somebody. Or are you? Nah, you're just passing. Still weird. Anyway, back to going out and the such. This person behind me swerving, that's nice. So, it's just one of those things that I feel like that we've developed. Like, like I've read and seen articles, and I can't, prove that was the case because I wasn't really going out a lot until I was in, senior year and just right after, beginning of college. And, every year, because, more friends and then parents loosened the reins, basically. But also just more friends, I didn't really have a consistent group to hang out with the exception of 6th and maybe 7th and 8th grade. Well, no, that's all of middle school, but I had a few people, but I wouldn't hang out with them all the time. It was just like birthday parties and like special events and such. But I didn't have a squad, I was just, and I don't even know if I do at this point. I've just been parts of squads, but when things are like that for you, you definitely. Oh my goodness, this person got so close and then swerved out of the lane. Yeah, exactly, you fool. Goodness. Anyway, so it's one of those, you just do what you got. So, I'm not here trying to say that there's a right or a wrong answer. There's a right or a wrong way to go about all of this, because everyone's life situation is different. So everyone's going to figure out different ways to go about it. Also, different people like different types of events, Yeah, here's the rager, but not everybody likes ragers. I like ragers, but I also have those nights where I'm like, oh, the only option's a rager. I may not go because I just want to chill. Like, sometimes especially at ragers, you can't really talk to your friends, and what I really like to do is talk to my friends, talk to people in general. Yo, oh my goodness, no, there are so many cops right now. Then again, I'm in Rancha, so wild, though. Like, just... What do you call it? Police participation. The funny thing is, he's probably going to the same place that one that I mentioned before is going to. Alright. So, yeah, I'm just on my way to this party. It's 90s themed. It's 90s themed, and I dressed up as Latrell Sprewell, because I only have, as far as 90s attire, I only really have jerseys, and so this is when he was number 8 for the New York Knicks, after he choked out his coach from the Warriors. Funny thing is, I'll thug it out for the Knicks, but I don't really know that many players. I can only name you a couple. I mean, I really claim them because, of course, you know, I'm originally from Manhattan. And let's take a look. So. Okay, so that part of the recording basically got cut off because 5 minutes away from the party, I was informed that it had ended. Isn't that great? So I basically drove several miles for nothing. Which brings me to my next point. When you are trying to go somewhere that has, you know, the party has a little staying power, people are gonna have faith in the party. You know, because if a party's ending at 3 a.m., that means people decided to go somewhere else. That definitely means that people decided, you know what, I heard about some other event. I heard about some other event that's more lit, so we should go there. Or this after party, or something like that. The in people, they'll know about it versus the people who just happen to be there. Gotta find something else. It's almost like parties play musical chairs, you know? Or that entire last 15 seconds of rant could just be me talking out of my ass. In any case, basically, we have this whole prospect of course, we're keeping our phones on during the party, and we're also asking for updates. Well, of course, while we're making updates, we're also seeing others make updates. And so, what do you do when you go to the bathroom? Or what do you do when you found, you know, like a few seconds, like when you're getting your drink, or when you just have a few seconds alone at the party, and you just don't want to just stand there. You look at your phone. So, what happens when you start looking at your phone? You're gonna start looking at your social media. It's just natural. It's become natural. It's second nature. I'll admit that. You know, I can't think of maybe I can, but you know, I can't think of a world where I was free, you know, to be able to go out and stuff like that, but also devoid of social media. I definitely openly rely on social media. I'll admit that. And so, you know, when it's one of those this could be kind of event, or when it's just not quite what you expect, then you might be on your phone even more than that. You might be talking to somebody and seemingly having a good conversation. Then one or both of you or all of you still be on your phones. That's not necessarily a rarity. You know, we'd be fooling ourselves to assume that it is a rarity. We're in the blogosphere, we're in the phonosphere, whatever term you want to use in this kind of scenario. But basically what that leads to is that whole FOMO, that whole fear of missing out, that FOMO feeling. And when you feel FOMO, you deliberately start checking your phone and see what's out there, seeing what other things are going on. You deliberately get in there and you're like, oh, maybe this could be fun. Maybe, this looks like fun. Maybe, hey, a friend that I'm here with, hey, this is kind of dead. Maybe we should go here. What? No, I'm having an okay time, and so you end up compromising, and the one who wants to leave tends to, unless the party's popping, the one who wants to leave tends to make a slightly good enough case, just good enough for them to, dip out, or, it could go the other way, but you end up dipping out, and this is basically the plot of the same Broad City episode, is Alana kept checking her phone. She knew about all these functions, versus Abby, she was just down to be at Trey's function. And so, of course, they ended up following Alana's plan because Alana got more connects and stuff like that. So they ended up missing the rest, and they didn't have that great a time until they got to the last spot. So that happened, and yeah, you might end up dipping out, of something that you might have ended up enjoying. So just about any argument can be made for and against, as far as just procedures on going out and staying out. Because what if the party just does end early, but you want to stay out? Because that's a scenario that I hadn't mentioned, but definitely was in my mind. It's like, oh, maybe the cops raided it, or oh, maybe it's just, the main people are dipping out, so everybody just wants to disperse it. That kind of thing. So, what ends up happening? You end up seeing people find, say, another place to go. I can think of one night where we went to Man of Wynwood and we went to the Purdy Lounge. And it was okay. Thankfully, it was free entry. But, each of us basically enjoyed the night from different perspectives. So, I was rolling with KJ, Johnny Woo, shout out to Johnny Woo, and with Breezy, and with Kislon, C-Raw, shout out to them too as well, Free Rock, and yeah, like I said, we ended up enjoying the night from different perspectives. For one thing, we got to Manor kind of late, and most of the stuff was already dying down. Neither DJ was playing stuff that any of us were really into, and so we ended up going to Gramps. We first ended up trying to go to Koyo, but we agreed, if that line is too long, it's not worth it. Sure enough, the line was too long, so we weren't going to wait there. Then at my suggestion, we went to Gramps. Gramps was cool, yeah, they got the $6 beer, but it's whatever, because, still vibing. They always got some interesting music. They had some good dance music on. Yeah, it was actually pretty good dance music. I think I tried to Shazam it. I think I got one of the songs. I don't think I got the other one. I don't remember quite how it went, but I believe I got at least one song. And we all got lit. We all were in here in the CRV, and we all had a beer, and we all, vibed. We chilled. So we're already on a good vibe, but, they didn't really enjoy Gramps as much as I was. I was just, vibing a little bit, but they were just kind of standing there, not really doing much. So they ended up all wanting to go to Brick. Big surprise. Now, no shade at Brick. It's just, I don't know if Brick is quite my style. it's a cool place, and I can definitely see, how people enjoy it. I wouldn't say I've given up on it. I'm definitely willing to give the place a few more tries. It's a cool spot. It's in a good area, or a good area for clubs, basically. It's free entry, and they just got good vibes, pun intended, I guess, because they also have an event called Good Vibes. That one I'm less fond of. But anyway, we went to break in, standard issue. We were just mostly standing around. I believe they bought a couple more drinks, but I kind of tried to vibe. It wasn't all that great. So what we ended up trying to do also is go to Purdy Lounge. Purdy Lounge is, up until then we were just in Wynwood. Mana, Gramps, Brick, all within a block to 3 blocks from each other. So we went to Purdy, crossed not the MacArthur Causeway, the other one, I guess maybe it might be the Ponce de Leon Bridge. I might be wrong, I'll double check that. Anybody feel free to fact check me. But we crossed the one that you access through, that area, the Wynwood and Omni area, not the one that's all the way in downtown. It was not the MacArthur Causeway, and it was not the Julia Tuttle Causeway either. It was basically the one that's down south by Bayside. I'm sorry, north of Bayside. So we get there, and we get into the lounge, and I mean, it's got a classic vibe to it, as with, a lot of the stuff in South Beach. Definitely tries to retain that classic Deco Drive vibe, except for, the swankier stuff. Pass me or don't, come on. So we get inside. Like I said, it's got that kind of, swankish, but definitely Deco Drive vibe, and with the, with the lettering, the classic lettering and all that kind of stuff. We get inside. I've said we get inside like 3 times already, but whatever. We, start dancing. I believe we tried to, I tried to, get my boy to dance. I tried to get Kislon to dance with us. No, both of us wanted to dance with some girls, and so we tried. We got curved, This one girl asked me to help her find her friend. I just told her, hey, there's 2 bathrooms, and if you don't find her, come back, I'll help you. But she did find her, so that's where that ended. She wasn't really, responsive the next time that I walked up, so I was like, nah. Just move right along, basically. But, I mean, that whole shifting of spots, sometimes you want to test the waters of a few places, but, I mean, like I said, there's no singular right or wrong. But what I would say is definitely, weigh your options carefully based on what you want, based on what you realistically want out of the night. Remember that not every night's going to be some kind of Project X night, even though we all wish it was. So, basically, I would say go with some tried and true places. Of course, it's good to explore. If you're going to explore, maybe, just be sure that it's something that, again, you want to do. Because if you're just going to feel stuff out, but you're not sure of what you want out of the night, there's a good chance that you'll just end up going home thinking that the night was a letdown, or that you wasted some time, or something along that line. And that's, that's just not good. You got one life to live. So you don't want to feel that way. But that could also be a good lesson, because that's also the premise of a song. spoiler alert. Coming soon. Anyway, I'm just getting back to my neighborhood. Alright, so I'm back in the front porch where we've done the other recordings. Serious grasshopper vibe out here tonight. So anyway, yeah, we've talked a whole bunch about going out, basically. I'm basically gonna recap what I've said, just in case I may or may not have another point that I want to talk about with this. So we talked about how groups it can be difficult and the different difficulties with that. Talked about the hashtag FOMO difficulty. It's a big thing. I talked about my difficulties with indecisiveness, and that comes with that. And I mean, in the show, you got to watch me, listen to me, basically take a big L. And not the lifestyles of poor and dangerous, unfortunately. Shout out to Big L, of course, rest in peace. But yeah, this whole party, and I had fear of missing out, and I missed out. Far be it from me to even try to lie. This is the only time this happened. This is the only time that I gotten caught, basically, like this. So, I guess on that note, we're gonna call it for tonight. So, thanks again for listening. My name is Cyrex. We are Freak Rock, and this is The Freak Show. Have a good one.